Now, every part of the country is experiencing one threat or the other. Criminals are having a field day, shedding the blood of innocents. From Zamfara to Kaduna, Niger, Yobe, Borno, Imo, Rivers, and many others. It is the same sour tale as citizens have now become shackled with chains of fear. No place seems safe. Schools, churches, police stations, army bases, homes, even the highways have all become hotspots. Insecurity is at the point the burden weighing down every Nigeria. Joining me is strategy consultant Dikbo Uyewole and lawyer and public affairs analyst Tunji Abdulhamid to talk about this. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us at TVC Breakfast.
Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Right. Just days ago, the issue of insecurity has been weighing on the heart of a lot of Nigerians, and you get, everybody speaking different tunes with regards to how to address it and the way to go, basically. But then the president had a meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State where he said that he would like for the U.S. to relocate Africom to Africa. And a lot of Nigerians have been upbeat or happy that perhaps this is the way to go, because this is like the president bowing to pressure, because there has been cause for us to ask for external help. And the president had one time said that we are not bringing in mercenaries. But now hearing the president asking the U.S. Secretary of State to relocate Africom to Africa, is that in itself asking for help for Nigeria? Let me start with you, Dikbo.
No, it isn't. And I was quite confused when a lot of people were celebrating that statement. This is why. So he's asked that Africom be relocated from Germany to Africa. And he said Africa. He didn't even say Nigeria. Now, if we were going to bring it to Africa, who said maybe it's not even go to Ghana to start with. But strategically, there's a reason why the U.S. will have those bases in the places where they would want to have them. So if they were to have them, or have one in Nigeria, for example, maybe moving Africom to Nigeria, for example, strategically it will have to be in the northeast. And I also think that, like any serious nation would, they would make such a decision with their own personal interest at heart first. Now, would it be strategic for them to move Africom to maybe the northeast of Nigeria or the northwest? Yes. It would be, because it would give them access to the border areas where Nigeria has with the francophone parts of Africa, which they've not been able to penetrate. Especially
with what is going on in Chad.
Yes, so that will give them that access. However, let's even assume that they see things the way we're saying it right now, having this conversation. It's not a decision that will be taken in 6 months or 12 months. It's not something that they can just pick up and move an entire station, an entire base, with all the logistics, with all the weapons and all of that. It's not going to happen within 6 to 12 months. So are you telling me, or for those that think that this is a solution we're looking for, are you telling me that we have to wait that long for 6 to 12 months? Is that the intention of the president, to say that this is the external help he is requesting for? For me, it was a statement, or nothing but that. It was a statement, and even that is a statement that we haven't even gotten from him as a president. But I believe that we have had enough of that, even though we haven't had enough of it. I don't know if that makes any sense. What I'm trying to say is, presidents make statements, they make speeches, commanders give orders. Now we need a commander-in-chief to give orders to his military commanders and say that enough is enough, and tell them how to go about solving the issues of insecurity within our borders in this nation. Either we have external help or not.
Right, let's get Tunji's perspective to this. I wonder if you are on the side of Dikbo, because some persons are saying that perhaps we'll get the benefits if it is located. If the Africom is relocated to Africa, we might benefit from it internally. I wonder if you share the same view.
There's no dispute the fact that if it's located within Africa, we'll get benefit. But is a location of that Africom in Africa, is it going to be very easy to do it for now? What we are facing an emergency now, and what we need now is an emergency solution, not future plan. I see that as a future plan. And to me, the request by the president is not even for Nigeria. It's for the entire Africa. And I am aware.
Oh, because it wasn't specific enough?
Yeah, it is Africa. It was specific. It was Africa, located within Africa. So it wasn't for Nigeria. So I will not celebrate the fact that the president has called for what's it called? Foreign help. I'm not even one of those who support us calling for foreign help in this regard. Really? And if
can we deal with the situation at hand internally?
We cannot deal with it.
Right.
If we are calling for foreign help, that means those who in authority should have to resign first. And say, look, we are not capable to do this thing. Let's call in foreign help to come and take over our country and do it for us. That's where I see.
But we are talking about addressing the security situation.
No, yes.
Not about ruling the country.
You see, what is the basic responsibility of the government?
Security of lives and property.
So, what are we talking about? So, if security is removed from the government, what else are you talking about? That is the first basic primary responsibility.
But they can offer support.
Yes, I'm not saying, look, we are, for me to either appreciate or condemn this effort, I want to see if we are seeking for help. I want to see the detail of help, the kind of help we are looking for.
Right.
Is it intelligent? Is it financial? Is it personnel? So when I see all those things, I'll be able to. But I will not appreciate the fact that, look, I will not celebrate the fact that, look, the president is calling for the US to relocate Africom to Africa. You see, I am aware that in 2020, just like he exactly said, it's not an easy thing to do. This Africom has a personnel of over 3,000 people. They have families. How do you relocate them within a period? We are in emergency now. We need emergency solution, not future plan. And that was what happened to us when we pay for Tucano jet for over how many years now. We are still expecting it. So, and this request is just a request that will have to be even considered and see. And I'm aware in 2012, the certain European countries have made certain requests. To date, nothing has happened in that regard. They also want it in their own interest area, not where it is now. Okay. So, and that has not been answered. So it's 90-10 if at all we're going to get.
So if we are talking about emergency solution, the Senate asking for a declaration of a state of emergency, is that also the way to go right now?
You see, these are general statements as far as I'm concerned. These are general statements. If you are asking for a state of emergency, you have to define the kind of thing they would do during that emergency situation. State of emergency, are we saying when a state of emergency is declared, we will close down the country? The government, those in government will leave their positions? Or will everybody become a military officer? Or what?
Specificity.
So I don't even understand what they mean by state of emergency. I don't know what that state of emergency will achieve as it is now, because it's general. It's not been broken down for me. Until that is done, I won't be able to say, look, it's a good call. Because if you are saying state of emergency, it means you have to suspend all the rules and regulations somehow in the country, and which means some people will have to even lose their position,
right?
But, including the president, if it comes to that. Because that's why I see a state of emergency. And you see, so as far as I'm concerned, because when a state of emergency is declared in a state, the governor will be removed and administration will be put in place. So if a state of emergency is declared in the entire country, what does it mean?
Perhaps specifically for the issue of security.
That means say the president go and sit down, let's appoint an administrator to rule our country. Is that what we're saying? So right. I will not dwell on that because I don't know the basic what they're talking about.
The details.
What we need, this solution to our problem in this insurgency is within us. We can do it. We have the capacity. But we're not doing the right thing. We're just thinking, just like the vice president said yesterday. I agree with him. We are just talking, thinking miracle will just happen and things will change.
We can't afford a
No! We have to do, there must be political will. People must be ready to do what they are supposed to do. People must be able to work.
Who are these people? They are not spirits.
Those in government.
They are in government.
Those in government.
And the vice president is part of those in government.
Those in government. Yeah, as I said, he's right for saying it. But they're not doing what they are supposed to do. Like everybody's just talking. Talking alone will not do it. Say, conference or whatever they say we should I had the House of Rep so yes. They're setting up a committee or whatever.
We are going to that.
We have a lot of this in place. We have a lot of this in place. After the committee is being set up and after they are sitting or whatever,
there will be a conference, security conference.
Yes, there will be a security conference and there will be a report. That report will be kept somewhere thereafter.
No, can't we be hopeful for once?
And how many days?
I'm just wondering, can't we be hopeful for once? The House of Reps is coming up with a 40-man special security committee, and they want them to sit and study the nation's security architecture. Now, that is on the one hand. So if the timing of this study. Is it right? And then after the study, there's going to be a security summit, so to speak, that will involve security chiefs and other security experts. Now, how will that bring about the solution? Because a lot of people have said military and non-military solutions to addressing this whole issue that we're talking about.
So the first thing is I would like to know the credentials of the people that will be in that committee. Are they people who have any military experience? Excuse me. Or are they people that have any experience in law enforcement?
Because if you want to study something, you must have a background knowledge of
exactly.
something. Yeah.
So that I would want to know first. If you don't have the majority of the people on that committee fit that bill, I'm sorry, we're just wasting our time. And people are just going there to have a conversation. And then, because it's not going to be free as well. The committees are never free. So you're still going to be costing us money that we could always send to equip our military. So what is the objective of that committee? Now, after the committee, then we'll have a summit. Then do we have time for all of that? We have security chiefs across all the branches of our military. What are they doing? What is going on? We have a retired general as our president and also commander-in-chief. I would ask again, where is our commander-in-chief? He has filled the office of the president for too long, and I think he has gotten too comfortable in that position. Though he has refused to step into the office of the commander-in-chief, because in 2015, when he was being voted in, it was off the backs of his reputation.
And when he came into office, you saw his body language, the way he reacted to issues.
Yes, so we're expecting that we have security challenges. We have a retired general as our commander-in-chief. We don't expect these things to linger on for too long.
So he's stepping into that position as commander-in-chief.
Yes.
Will be what?
Will be to decisively give instruction to his service chiefs and tell them enough is enough of this. Because I believe that, so you remember a couple of years ago and some time ago when we always talked about having service chiefs changed.
Yes.
And all of that, and then they were changed, and then some of us saw how the whole thing was going and said, okay, you know what, it seems like the new boss is the same as the old boss. And which for me, it wasn't quite surprising, because before the service chiefs were changed, time and time again, we were told by the presidency, now not the president, because the president doesn't think he needs to talk to us, but the presidency, the office now.
No, we cannot say he doesn't think. That would be an assumption.
Okay, but he doesn't.
He hasn't spoken.
He
doesn't mean he is not thinking. We cannot really state specifically, but you can move on. Yes.
So the presidency has told us time and time again, or they told us, told us that the president was satisfied with the performance of the service chiefs at the time. And I kept asking the question, what were the objectives they were given? What were their KPIs? Now the question is now, we have new service chiefs. Have those objectives changed? If they have not changed, I'm sorry, we'll keep seeing the same results, because now you have not told the new guys to up their game. You have not given them new directives. You have not told them to do things in a different way.
Over time, after the change, had made statements,
yes,
to this service chiefs, asking them, to give it their all, address this issue.
And what are the reports they have been giving him? Have there been any reports of any improvement? Now, this is another thing I have always said. Now, if they tell you on Monday, by your security chiefs tell you on Monday that, okay, you know what, we have done this and that and that and this. Every other picture we see of the president, he's reading one of our national dailies every other day. And then on the front pages these days,
perhaps
he keeps saying,
keeping up with happenings. Okay.
Of course, which he should do. Which these in the last couple of days, the headlines have been very, very depressing, talking about issues of insecurity, kidnappings, and all of that. Has he thought to call any of those people, his service chiefs, maybe those in the military or the Inspector General of Police, and say that on Monday you told me this, on Wednesday this is what I'm seeing in the newspapers. Is there any truth to this? Because this is what you told me on Monday. So there's a disparity in the figures. There's a disparity in the facts you're giving
Accountability.
me. Accountability. So what is going on? So that is why I keep saying that the buck stops with him.
Absolutely.
Aside from being the president and the commander-in-chief. But either we're getting external help or not. I believe that a lot of this rides on the shoulder of the president, speaking decisively to his service chiefs and the people in charge of securing our lives over here within our borders, that they need to get this job done.
And that's what a lot of persons have said. If you read recently, I think yesterday, a UK minister was saying that the security situation in Nigeria is quite a complex one, and that no matter the level of collaboration, it cannot address it, meaning we have to handle it ourselves.
Exactly.
That is what they have said. But then again, let's come to this call by the vice president saying that we can't afford to have a civil war again, stemming from the experience we have had. And he was, admonishing the political elite to ensure that we do not drive ourselves to that point. But a lot of persons would say that the things that actually led to the civil war at the time are very much present with us and even very much more pronounced, Tunji.
I want to agree with him. It's our vice president that we don't need a war as it is today. We don't need it at all. It will not help anybody. Yeah. They are going to war or civil war in this country these days. It will not help anybody. In looking at the poverty situation of the country, look at the economic situation of the country. Now going to war again. What can you imagine what will happen? I want to say, look, just like he said. If you remember, I've been here and I've said it when they changed the service chiefs.
Yes.
That. The change of service chief may not change anything because it's like changing a car.
Means there's a possibility for it to change something.
Yeah, it's like you have a car that's not working well.
Yeah.
You now decide to go and take it to a painter and repaint the body, and the engine will still the way it is. Do you think anything will happen? Anything will change? No. And it's not as if those people, service chiefs don't have the capacity. It's not as if the military officers who are fighting this war don't have the capacity. But what we don't have, I think, as far as I'm concerned, is a political way to fall through. I was listening to a member of the House of National Assembly yesterday, and he said whenever they interview these service chiefs, when they present their programs, they see that these programs are good programs that can change things. But when it comes to implementation, you will not see it. So, and you cannot give what you don't have. Because, for example, we have been clamoring all this while that those who are fighting the war, how well have they been, welfare have been taken care of? Those who are fighting, the machinery, the weapons, how equipped are they?
But we have,
how sophisticated are these equipment?
Channeled monies to acquiring sophisticated
you
weapons.
have channeled money, so much money to it. Acknowledged by the National Security Advisor that money was released for weapon, equipment. And the whereabouts of those equipment are not known. But today, nobody has been called to question. These are the issues.
For it.
These people who are causing the mayhem we're having in the country today, some people know them.
Is it so difficult to call people to question? Because there must be accountability.
That is the political will we're talking about. Without the political will, without dealing with people who are causing the problem, nothing can happen. We have people who know those who are causing wala. Those the bandit, the so-called bandit or the Boko Haram, they were visited by one Sheikh Kumi. Which means they were known. So if within us, if we are able to pull ourselves together,
but
do the right thing.
The lives of Nigerians are being lost on a daily. The question is, what does the life of a Nigerian cost right now? If we are saying political will is what is the issue, I mean, the lives that you swore to protect is being lost on a daily. What would it cost you to defend that life? What is this political will? Anyway.
So I believe that it stems from having empathy. And what we're seeing is a gross lack of empathy from our leadership. Because if you have empathy on the front pages of our national dailies every single day in the last 2 weeks, now deliberately I've also decided to avoid a lot of them. And the last couple of days I've also avoided social media a lot.
You have to take care of your mental health.
Because you look at 3 posts and then you see someone kidnapped. You look at 3 posts, you see maybe something else happening to somebody, and it's not even 10 a.m. and you're wondering, where are we going in this country? What is going on? Monday, Tuesday I was on a radio program and then people called into it. You could hear the hopelessness in the voices of Nigerians. A lot of people were speaking in fear. You could hear the fear in their voices. You could hear the hopelessness in their voices.
Yeah.
That is where we are as a people. That is the true reflection of how millions of Nigerians feel. So, like I said, it is a lack of empathy on the side of leadership, because if there is empathy, and mind you, empathy is really at the heart of any form of leadership. You cannot claim to be a leader and not have empathy. Because if you don't have empathy, you cannot move people from where they are to where they ought to be, helping them achieve whatever goals they ought to achieve, helping them bring out the best in them. So you need to have empathy. And what we're seeing today is a gross lack of empathy from the leadership of this nation. And I think it is not good enough. It is really not good enough because we keep talking, we keep having the conversation, and it seems like things keep getting worse. And I believe that it is also a lack of accountability. Like he said, money has been released for weapons. Somebody admitted that
something went wrong. Yeah.
Nobody has been jailed. How is that
possible?
Nobody
has been called to question.
Nobody has been called to question. Nobody has seen the four walls of a prison. How is that even possible? In a sane society, now I'm not saying saner climes abroad, I mean in a sane society where people have their wits about them. How does that make any form of sense? Nobody's held accountable. And then some other person comes into that office, does the same thing, and then they'll call the person to question. And then they appeal. You send people to the front lines to die cheaply. The families aren't well taken care of. Even while they're alive, they aren't well taken care of. And we keep sacrificing them on the altar of terrorism, thinking that we will get solutions. I'm sorry, that is not how to win a war. That does not show that we are serious about getting this done. As far as I'm concerned, they are terrorists. Like I've said time and time again, whatever nomenclature we choose to give them, bandits, gunmen, they are terrorists, they are criminals, they need to be stamped out decisively. But until we have a commander-in-chief that is ready to have that done, I believe that we'll keep having these conversations every single week. And it may just end up as rhetorics, and Nigerians may keep losing their lives every single day.
Okay. Let me give Deepo a good news. Looking through the papers today, there's no report of any death.
That doesn't mean it's not happening.
I know. I said
because
at least for months now, every day, there will be one report or the other. Number of people have been killed. We thank today. That's
but you read about the agitation of persons, those in the north, saying that
at least let's
they
celebrate
would
that
not
one.
want, they cannot continue or see, they would not fold their hands seeing their people killed in the east.
Yes,
that is an agitation.
Those are the issue why we are having problems. What we're having today, and that's why I say we can solve the issue within ourselves. Those people are complaining. People are raising issues. These issues are not being addressed by anybody. So that's how I want to support him.
Yes.
That it is the high time for the president to rise up to the occasion. Stop resting at Aso Rock. The president should move around. The president is not an Oba or king. It's the president of the country. Right. And he should be moving around. That's what they call leadership. That's what the commander-in-chief. Checking what since the insurgency started. I'm not aware. Please correct me. Whether our president has visited the military base 2 or 3 times. I'm not aware. To say, let me just visit these people to encourage them, to give them moral support. I've not seen that. I've not seen that. So the president should stop sitting at the Aso Rock. Let the president move out, do his job as president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's a general or retired general, and I believe he's still a general. Let him work.
All right, so we'll leave the conversation here now, gentlemen, and we hope that the myths of this discussion is being taken. Those at relevant positions are taking the needed points so that the issues will be addressed right from the roots. Thank you, Deepo Oyewole, strategy consultant, and lawyer and public affairs analyst Tunji Abdulhamid, for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.